Hello there, Leo. Thank you for stopping by for your weekly tarot forecast for the week of April 6th through the 12th. I am using my Shadowscapes tarot deck today. The name of this deck is Lavender. I name all my decks. And so on Monday, what we have from Lavender here is we have the Justice card for you, Leo. So the Justice card. What is that telling me for you? All right, so basically this is actually just coming through as sort of the traditional meaning for the Justice card, which just is that if there is some situation where you're being judged, this can actually be a court situation, and many times it is, but it can also be a situation at work or a situation with family or with a significant other where somebody is really judging, looking at what are your motives, what are the actions, what are the outcomes. And so with this card coming up the way it did, what this means is that as long as you were operating above board and doing things the way that you were aware of that they should be done, then you're going to be just fine with this judgment. This judgment is going to be a fair one. However, if you were operating below board, trying to get away with something in your actions, then you're not going to be so happy about this judgment because it's going to be a fair one. Okay? So Leos, that is your Monday. On Tuesday, what we have coming up is we have the Page of Cups in reverse. And the Page of Cups in reverse just means that you are going to be passing along a message of love to someone in your life. Now, this can be a significant other, but it can also be a family member, a friend, a coworker, or even somebody that you don't know on the street. What do messages of love look like? There's all kinds of different ways a message of love can come in. Anything from chocolates and flowers, verbal messages, just doing something kind for someone maybe that you don't know. Just anything that lets someone realize that, you know what, the world isn't such a bad place after all. Maybe people are okay after all. So message of love you're passing along on Tuesday, Leos. Now, Wednesday, what we have coming up is the Knight of Cups in reverse. Isn't it interesting? It's the day after you passed along a message of love. Knight of Cups in reverse just means that on Wednesday you're going to be feeling kind of cynical yourself about love in general. You're going to be feeling like, well, what does love really mean? What are the actual results of love? What is the manifestation of love? You just love somebody and you get hurt, blah, 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 blah. Just really in this negative frame of mind about love. That's what I see for you guys, Leos, on Wednesday. And I do feel like for most of you, this is going to be your attitude on Wednesday. For those of you who this is not your attitude, and I'm really feeling like there's only 10 to 20% that it won't be your attitude, the rest of you are going to have somebody come into your life that interacts with you that has this attitude. So either you're going to be expelling that attitude from yourself all over the place, everywhere you go, or somebody is going to come in that has that attitude and kind of just like regurgitates it up on you. Yuck. Okay, so that's Wednesday, Leo. Thursday, what we have coming up is we have the Two of Swords. Now, the Two of Swords on Thursday just means that you're making a decision on Thursday and you're making it as fairly as you possibly can. And it looks to me like you're trying to leave emotions out of it. You're trying to leave favors out of it. You're trying to just make it as fairly and logically as you can. And I do see you making that decision on Thursday. And I feel like even though you're looking at fairness, I do feel like part of the way you're making this decision is based on intuition. And I got to tell you, intuition, as long as you can tell intuition from being triggered and emotions, intuition will never lead you wrong. The trick is telling which one from what. But I do feel like on Thursday, part of how you're making this decision does have to do with intuition, and you are making as fair a decision as you possibly can on Thursday. Okay, so Friday, Leos, what we have is we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. And the Seven of Wands in reverse means it's time to make peace. This is generally a situation where you had to stand up for yourself in your life. There was no choice. Your back was against the wall. I don't feel like you normally are just like all in people's faces or, being very assertive or aggressive maybe assertive, but not so much aggressive in your stance. I do feel like maybe you had to get a little bit more assertive or more aggressive than you would like to recently in standing up for yourself, because people just kind of weren't getting it. They weren't choosing. I'm hearing they weren't choosing to get it. It wasn't convenient for them to get where you were coming from, and so you had to really kind of hit them over the head with a 2x4. So, not literally, by the way. All right, so what's happening on Friday is now it's time to make peace. Okay, you've got your point across. Now we get it. Now let's make peace and move forward from here. Okay, so it's kind of a relief when you get to make peace. It's like, okay, I can quit holding up this shield, and I can quit, being on offense and being on defense here. Now I can just be myself. So that's what this is saying, is go ahead and make peace. It's safe to make peace now, and that's happening on Friday. Saturday, Leo, what you have coming up is you have the Hermit in reverse. The Hermit in reverse has kind of morphed on me from what it used to mean. It used to mean you're spending too much time alone. But what it's been meaning for me lately, what I've been hearing as it comes up lately, is that you don't want to be alone. So Saturday, I'm feeling like you're in a situation where you are alone and you don't want to be alone. And so this is a good time to just get out and be social and be around people. Yeah, for some of you, this has to do with relationship issues. For some of you, your partner is away, maybe traveling for business or whatever, and you're just kind of tired of it. It's Saturday. I want to have somebody to hang out with and do things with. I want to be able to go have some fun. So this is just a really good time to start being on the lookout for some new friends, and, maybe try something new that you haven't done before. It's perfectly fine if you do it on your own, That's how we really find those things that make us happy, is by being adventurous and trying something we've never tried before. Okay, so that's your Saturday. Sunday, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Pentacles in reverse just means that on Sunday you're giving someone a gift. Wow, this is the second sign that this has come up for on Sunday. So you're giving someone a gift. So I have this sense of like being in church and the basket being passed. So for some of you, we're just talking about the gift that you give at church on Sunday, for those of you who are churchgoers and do that. Tithes. Tithes actually, what I'm hearing is tithes actually qualifies as a gift. Those are voluntary. You were not forced to tithe. Nobody ever, well, ideally, nobody ever forces you to tithe. They might put guilt trips on you. But seriously, nobody ever forces you to tithe. So tithes are a gift. And so that actually counts. So for those of you, and I feel like there were quite a few of you that were about to say, well, that's just my tithe. That doesn't count as a gift. Wrong. That is a gift. Now, you may feel like you owe it because God gives you the 100% and you're giving back the 10%, but still it's a gift. You have that choice. You have free will. Okay, so that was just an extra little blurb that came in from Spirit. I'm sure it won't apply to all of you, but for the ones that it does apply to, I guess you needed to hear it. So let's move on. So the other thing I like to say whenever I talk about giving a gift, something that you guys need to be aware of when I'm talking about a gift, I'm talking about something that is not owed. It is something that has not been earned. This is something that you give freely of your own heart voluntarily. So that means for those of you parents who are giving your children allowance on Sunday, and you're watching this video and you're thinking, oh, that must be the gift we're talking about because money's coming out of your pocket. Wrong. That doesn't make it a gift. Those kids earned that allowance, or at least hopefully they earned that allowance. So that's not what we're talking about. So I want you to have your eyes open for a real gift that you're giving on Sunday, okay? Not something that somebody earned, but something that you are just giving just because you want to. All right, so Leos, that is your weekly forecast. For those of you who would like to schedule a private session with me, feel free to check out my website. I'm at amista.info, amista.info. Once you've poked around a little bit there, and if you still feel like I'm the best person for you to work with, then just go ahead and get a hold of me and we will schedule a session for you as quickly as possible. For everybody else, I'll see you all here next week. Everyone have a great week. Peace out.